Take the banner off. Just click on it. Just click on it. When you click on it, it goes off. I put it on the floor. Can you see it the whole? Can you see this crowd? Okay. I'm about to add another camera to it, okay? And this camera is going to be up close camera when people are talking. So, give me a second. Is it live? Okay. If it says live, we good. Yeah, it's live. All right. How y'all feeling? Put it on the basket camera. How many of you have worked together? Whether you work with somebody that's in the room with you, or whether you have worked with somebody that's in the room both cameras. So I'm about to double this. So make this camera the main camera. Okay. So how was the experience? Did it feel good to collaborate with somebody? Did it feel good to take that load off, that stress, and doing it all by yourself? And it felt good, right? Okay. Yeah. Today, we are joined by three phenomenal women who have all done what you all have done. They own their own businesses. They have supported each other. They have poured into one another. And they are bringing you the Boss Babe Summit today. So, I first want to talk about Ms. Renika Smiley, who is the founder of Gen Now. Renika has been a huge supporter of my brand Ask Ashley, but more importantly, she has been a huge supporter of the women of Cincinnati. Anybody that has a business, anybody that wants resources for their business, anybody that wants more information for their business, Renika has been a huge supporter of it. So please give it up for Ms. Renika Smiley. But we got my name, and these are the women of Boss Babe Link Up. Have y'all heard of Boss Babe Link Up? Yes. What have you heard? Great things. Y'all hear that? Perfect. Okay. So these two phenomenal women, and I'm gonna let them share their story, but they too have been very supportive of the women in business of Cincinnati, which is why they created the Boss Babe Link Up. I'm gonna allow these women to come up here and introduce themselves so we can get to know them for a hot session, and we are going to go ahead and commence our program for a second. Please give it up for Ms. Renika Smiley.
Hello.
Wow. Like I gotta get a little quiet. So I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Um, we partnered together with Boss James Link Up. And so I really love what my aunt Ash and Andrew was doing with the brand for entrepreneur women. But just a little bit of background about my organization, Generation Now Cincinnati Network. It's a 501c3 non-for-profit organization, and our mission is to provide world-class networking, mentorship, and career training to all young professionals. And how this event came about, you can actually thank the African American young professional women in our cohort program, Advanced Training. Advanced Training is a program for African American women, a first workforce program. Generation Now is pretty much a workforce development and membership-based organization for young professionals. So we appeal to young professionals to help pipeline talent and help young professionals with economic development. Just kind of a new innovative way of programming to reach the new generation of people who want to find jobs, because not everybody, even the people who are receiving services, don't look the same as everybody that's receiving services, if that makes sense. And so that was the most positive way to put that. And so what we learned from research in Cincinnati, Ohio, this research is done by the Economic Development Center at the University of Cincinnati and also by the Women's Fund of Greater Cincinnati, found out that African American women in Cincinnati who are degree holders make less than $15 an hour. But nationwide, African American women are right behind Caucasian men of businesses being launched in America. And so what we have found out is that African American women who are making less in the workforce are also finding opportunities for themselves in entrepreneurship to scale themselves instead of dealing with racial disparities. And so Advance is a program, a 12-week intensive program for African American women, and it's funded by the United Way and Greater Cincinnati Foundation. And actually the women in the program here a few of the women in the program are here tonight, and they actually tailored this program, which was their bonus session, which was entrepreneurship. And I asked them, do you want an actual other session or do you want it open to the public? They said they want it open to the public. They were supposed to write all the questions for the entrepreneur panel, but they did not do that. But I would love to give you ladies a hand. You can stand up so people can recognize who you ladies are. And these are very professional. They also had great testimonies. I have some of the things that the women have learned in the programs about real estate, entrepreneurship, financial literacy, professional development, dealing with bullies in the workplace. I read one testimony here today. I won't put her on the spot, but I am looking at you. Congratulations on your new job at UrbanLink as the grant writing specialist. By going through our program, these young ladies have had an opportunity to advance in their career by taking the skills set. And so it made sense for us tonight to keep the network going for Generation Now Cincinnati Network by partnering with Boss Babies Link Up, who provides that same community for African American women for entrepreneurship. And so I'll give the mic to them.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm Maya of the Boss Babies Link Up. And I'm Ashley, Ashley Amber. So we are so excited to be here today with you guys. The Boss Babies Link Up was literally 9 years old. We just started this last year, and it started off with a humble. And we played it, and just showed up. And they were like, we should do this more often. And next thing you know, we was doing every other month, and it's just been growing and growing. And I don't know, we couldn't be happier. So we want to thank y'all for being here today. We got a lot of story for y'all. And yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions. Like, that's what we're here for. We're here to take it up. Oh yeah, and we have a brunch coming up too. So We haven't even dropped the flyer yet, but we're gonna be having our next lunch August 13th. So August 13th, you guys will be able to come out and same thing how we always do, have a good time and learn and be able to network and meet some people that can help you take your business to the next level. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for that. And we'll have tables and vendors available for you guys. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank y'all. Okay, ladies, so. But, shout out to my friend, I think my friend stayed up real quick. Mary, he stayed up for a second. Y'all see my boo Mary? Yeah, she was friend that would always stop traffic and wait in the parking spot and argue with people. She don't know. Mary does my lashes, my facials, my back massages, so Gift of Beauty LLC, you see her, go find her. Okay, which I can have this friend. Alright, so we are actually going to start by doing a giveaway. I know y'all like giveaways. This first giveaway, you'll actually have to come and give us all of your information, but you know, we don't want you to sell for a giveaway. This is going to be a 3-month service of bookkeeping by Miss Chalisa English, Oh, if she was here, she'd be so mad. Now that's my cousin, and I just messed up her. That's my girl. That's your cousin too? I said that's my girl. Oh, you said that's your girl. I said that's family. For freedom to complete tax services. So, what are you doing about that? Yeah, she's bringing up the rappers, but I will let y'all, okay. So we're going to get very personal tonight. All right? I don't want y'all to cry. We're going to get personal. We're going to ask questions about our business. We're going to learn from each other. We're going to pour into each other, and we are going to support each other as well. Okay, well, we need to talk about our critique, but I've had a lot of people come and compliment. I know my girl is out, okay, but I like it like that. So, it's a unique strategy. She also has a plus size critique if you ladies are interested. Okay, so raffle 1084191, and her name is Patrice. Did Patrice leave? Girl, everybody know this 3 months was her. Alright, so the next raffle that we are doing is, let's see, Ashley Gross. Are you in here, Ashley? Okay, she's not here, but Ashley Gross is giving away a Harvard Foundation. She's giving away Rich Girl Energy merchandise. So you'll get your prize in this one, and this is going to go to 1084194, Miss Delisa Tinsley. She said, hey, and then they're going to bring that to you in the back. Okay, really quick, we didn't have our community partners able to make it today, but we want to say thank you to the Women Business Center. If you do not know, all of you should know because you are women in business. Learn more about Women Business Center, Border Cincinnati, and Startup Cincinnati. We want to make sure that we thank those business and community partners for allowing us to have this event. You got something? Thank you. Okay. The next giveaway we are going to do is another free business tax consultation by Ms. Erica Lynn. You got a racket for me? Girl, can you bring all of them up here? I ain't know I can feel some stuff. You got them?
Somebody want their tax information? What they get? Nikki, you're really pretty. Thanks. Thanks so much. Do you have, okay, we're gonna do this last one and then we're gonna go ahead and get y'all the information that y'all need to get. Ticket 1084195, and this is to Miss Griffin. Because you know I was trying to mess your name up. Please give it up to Miss Griffin. Okay, ladies, and I know we are here for the Boss Babe Sum Up, but we are going to give a very big round of applause to my DeVoe Sherman, because not only did he come prepared to support ATL, but he wore pink. He was so respectful. Please give it up for Mr. DeVoe Sherman. Thank you.
Testing. Oh, this thing is loud. That's what's up. Y'all ready to get this show on the road? Yeah. Oh, man, I don't know if y'all ready. I don't hear y'all. Y'all ready to get this show on the road? Yeah. All right, we're going to make this happen. So, the first thing that I want to do, I always like to start off with positive affirmation. Anybody know what positive affirmation is? Ooh, somebody go outside. What is it?
I am blessed.
There we go. Let me hear a few more. I'm blessed. What else? I am strong. Okay. All right. Anything else? I am amazing. All right. So that manifestation is always powerful, right? And I think a lot of times as business owners, we don't realize how powerful that is. It's like when you want something, like it's cool to say, I want it, but do you really, really want it? I mean, do you really, really want it? Like, because I meet so many people that be like, oh man, I'm gonna make 100,000. Like, oh, you do? Like, yeah, I'm gonna make 100,000. All right, cool. All right, I hear you. But is that really a lot? When you think about it, is it really a lot of money in today's economy? It's really not, right? So why we get so infatuated with things just because we see it on Facebook, we see it on TikTok, and we like, oh man, this is it. And it's really, when you really look at your numbers in business, it's really not a lot of money. But a lot of people really just want to get to the money. It ain't even about the money. You know what it's about? It's about the relationship. Think about how Facebook built its model. It's built its model based on people, based on us, right? Everybody, you can just see everybody, and they can just collect the data and just use and just do whatever with it. And nobody read those terms and conditions, but that's a whole other thing. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So, would you all join me in this affirmation by standing up? And here's the reason why we stand up. We stand up because we believe in what we're saying, right? This is the power of the manifestation. You gotta believe it. All right, here we go. I have the power to change. And be who I want to be. And nobody can stop me but me. That's the end, I'm done. All right, you about to go ahead and get started. So today's topic is business startup foundation. So I'm going to talk about the foundations of like starting a business from the ground level. Now, there's some other factors that I may not say or may miss just because I'm on a time crunch. So I got to make sure. They told me, you got to make sure that you do it on time and get out on time. All right, make sure that. All right, so that's me. All right. And the reason I got both of these pictures side by side because what you see here is you see a mother. My mother had me at the age of 14 years old. Right? And the time of her having me, she said we both almost died. So when I look at that picture, and I see all the work I put in is because of her. And that's why I'm wearing pink, because I got to represent. But this just displays the work that I put in, just on my journey. And for me, I'm not gonna really go deep into it, but I would just say I'm a Woolworth graduate. I graduated in 2015. I went to UC, studied political science and liberal arts. I paid my own tuition, and that's where I started my own business at. That's how I literally got started. I invested in myself. I had a business coach. And, as you learn from other people, you start to see like people really don't want you to win. You know what I mean? Like, and I started to get that sense as I started to, as they say, like level up. You know what I mean? As I see that, as I see the billboards that I was on in Cincinnati, sponsored by Fifth Third. As I start, really just leveling up, it's like, man, you know what? I need to utilize you for these projects. I'm like, I want to do my own thing now. I done paid you. I'm financially broken. And, paying my own tuition, I'm doing this, and I'm still paying you. And I didn't mind investing in myself, right? How many entrepreneurs, or just even personally investing in ourselves, y'all know what that feels like. You can't take that away from me. You can't. So eventually, I had to literally separate myself from him in the company just because I didn't want to get taken advantage of. And I tell people all the time, I am not nobody's prostitute. All right, I'm not nobody's prostitute. It's a wrap. Like, it's over. It's a wrap. So, but this is me. All right, this is me in the flesh. I am not catfish. All right, this is me in the flesh. So these are all the credentials, all the awards that I've won. Over time, y'all can stop looking at me because I do not look that good. So I'm gonna go ahead and change it. All right. This is the firm, Sherman's Consulting Firm. Basically, what we do, as you can see, the shirt says it. We build business plans brick by brick. All right, and keep it simple on that. That's what we do. All right. These are all the services that we provide. All right. We got a business plan workbook. All right, we're moving fast now. And we also have a business plan guideline. All right. And then we also have a business plan academy as well. So all things business plan. All right. All right, so here we go. What you guys came here for, right? Ooh, I can't wait to do this. I've been waiting to do something like this. So I'm pretty sure you guys heard about, like, hey, get the LLC, get the EIN, go to the business bank account, get $100,000 in funding, right? I heard that. Oh, they kill me with that. They kill me. The first thing that you should do when you start a business is you got to do what? You got to research. You got to figure out, can you own and control the name that you're using? Right? Think about it. You can have a name here in Ohio, right? You can use the name of Ohio. Let's say you build the business up, 6-figure, 7-figure company, whatever. And then somebody in Atlanta, Georgia owns the name. He controls the name. Guess what happened to the business that you built up? What happens? Somebody tell me. What happens? They can take it from you. What else? You got to read. What else? You lost your investment. It's over. And you're looking like, they can do that? Like, yes, they can do that. It's business. Right? So you got to figure out okay, is this name available? Okay, and if it is available, okay, we know what we do. We go on a Secretary of State. We pay the $99 fee. And some people ask me, why we pay the $99 fee? Well, because you have to register your business. Again, wordplay. What is registration? Who knows what registration is? When you register something, what are you doing? Who knows? Anybody? You don't know, it's fine. So I'm here to say that. When you register something, right, you're recording. Right? It's recorded on a document that says, hey, you opened a business in the state of Ohio. That's it. That's all it says, is you opened a business. But why doesn't it say anything about owning and controlling the business? Ain't that crazy? So you start the business, you register it, but nobody actually owns and controls the business. You just register the business on the Secretary of State of Ohio, which actually is a public, right? It's a public website that people can go in and actually see and look up your information. People can go on the Secretary of State and actually look up where you live and all that stuff. But this is why I tell people to go get a virtual address. My company, we actually just started doing virtual addresses, but there's other companies up here. There are true virtual addresses, okay? You don't want to do a PO box. You don't want to do USPS, UPS, and all those. Why? Because if I'm an investor or a banker or whatever, and I want to give you some money, and I see you in an apartment building or a house, how does that look? It looks like you ain't got a business. So if I'm going to give you money, you need to look like us, right? You need to look like one of us. I don't need you to look like them over there, whoever they are, right? I need you to look like us. So this is the reason why I tell people, get the virtual address. Yes, it's going to cost you money, monthly. That's fine. You have to be willing to make the investment. All right? Now, I will say, our company, you know, it's a little on the cheap end, so got you covered on that end. All right? So, kind of going back to that first step, when you find that, when you try to find and search a business, when you start doing the registration, you use that virtual address. All right, that's what you use to register with the state. Because again, the information is, who knows, public. Ooh, okay, all right, doing good. All right, here we go. Now we got trademark. So you want to trademark the name and the logo. Who knows why? Why would we do both? So nobody want to take the name and the logo. Man, y'all are quick. Can we probably do another class or something? All right, quick. All right. So when I tell people to do a trademark, you do both. Not only do you do the name, but you do the logo. Why? Because it saves us time and money. Think about it. Why would we gonna do two separate applications? If the name is the same, if the logo is the same as the name, why do two separate applications? We just do one application. We put how we're using the trademark and what we're trademarking. That's how we do it. Now I know I made it kind of sound simple, but I would advise you guys to get like a trademark lawyer to actually do something like this. Okay? Because I don't do trademarks. I just know about it. Okay? All right, but you can do a state or a federal trademark. The only reason I suggest doing a state, if you're not going to expand your business in another state, like outside of Ohio, if you're going to expand it, then that's when you do the federal. But if you're not, just do the state trademark and you'll be fine. All right? So now we got filing the articles of organization. Some people say incorporation. Honestly, y'all, it's really all the same thing. Okay? Because I think a lot of people get stuff confused. Like, some people, even the state sometimes, use these fancy words and try to confuse you. And ultimately, that's what happens. Right? So you want to file that LLC. All right? So you got the search. You got your virtual address. All right? You want to look and see if it's been trademarked or not on the state and the federal level. So now you're ready to actually start the LLC. All right? Which is limited liability corporation or company, however you want to claim it, right? Or name it. Then the most powerful thing is you want to get the operating agreement, LLC operating agreement. Now, here's the thing. It's not required in Ohio. It's not. In different states, it is required. Now, you may ask, I probably never heard of stuff like this. Anybody ever heard of LLC operating agreement? Anybody? All right, yeah. So, this thing right here, this is a private document, okay? This is a private document that says, this is how we pay our members and managers. Notice that I didn't say owners, right? See the wordplay? This is how we pay, or not even pay, distribute money to our members and our managers of this LLC. Now, why do I say that? Because we are representatives of the LLC. You don't own anything. You really should just supposed to control how the business is supposed to move, right? That's the true nature and power of having a LLC and an operating agreement. Now, your operating agreement is going to list out those things, okay? It's going to list out those things. So this is why you want that. It's a private document. And I tell people, you only want to give notices to the Secretary of State and a notice to your bankers. You need to tell them that you have something like this on file because it's a private document, okay? It's private. It's not for everybody to see. Now, it becomes public when you're doing investments and different things like that. It does become public, okay? And then the next thing, you want to make sure that you get your license and permits. I'll tell you, I had one person say, do I need a vendor's license? I said, well, do you sell products? He said, yeah. I said, well, yeah, you need a vendor license. You gotta pay sales tax. And then she said, well, I want to grow my business. Well, have you been paying taxes? No. Well, how can you grow your business? Because banks look at tax returns, right? They look at that stuff. So there's a lot of people that got this idea of, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, but you have to get all the other steps. You have to file taxes. I don't care if you made money or not. Just file it. Right? You need to have a record. If you're trying to get to that money, get to that bag, then that's what you have to do. Now, I know you probably don't want to do it because you feel like you make a lot of money, but that's what you have to do. Right? And then, of course, you get the EIN, which is free, right? IRS.gov, that's free. And that's your employer identification number or tax ID, another wordplay that they use. Okay, and that's kind of like your business social security. All right, and then you have what's called your business bank account. Now here's the thing, I tell people to get both. You want a nonprofit bank account and then you want a for-profit bank account. Now what's the difference? Nonprofit bank accounts, they give you lower interest rates, right? And then you become a member of the nonprofit bank. You're actually a member. So you get those benefits. Now with the for-profit banking, they have better credit cards or they got better products because they have more money. Okay? Usually the nonprofit banks are a little bit smaller, right? So the for-profit banks, you definitely want to get with them. Now it's only certain banks that I would probably get with, all right, which I'm probably not going to say here, but I know the banks that I get with, you know, we get a lot of credit from a lot of credit from the banks that we work with. And then you want to obtain the DUNS number. Who knows what the DUNS number is? All right. Somebody tell me what the DUNS number is? Did I do something? Did I do something? I messed something up. I can still keep on without it. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. So the DUNS number, Duns and Bradstreet, is a business credit bureau. Right? So what happens is they're collecting your information. That's all they're doing. They're collecting your information. And whoever you're paying, like if you pay like a vendor, they're collecting the information and they're reporting it. That's all they're doing. They're just there to report. It's like they call them a data furnishing company. So there's a lot of data furnishing companies that are out there that's collecting our information and using it to make money off of our information. I'm gonna get a little deep on that. But I ain't gonna go down there. It get a little deeper than that. And then you also want to take some type of commercial insurance. Okay, no matter if you're in business, you gotta have insurance. Because if you don't have insurance, what happens? You can get sued, right? And when we talking about this stuff is like real. Okay? No cap, like this stuff is real, right? So think about it. Everybody, online they tell you, hey, if you got an LLC, people can't come out to your business, or they can't come out to you personally. Actually, they can. It's called piercing through your corporate veil. So if your veil is not strong enough, right? If it's not strong, meaning that if you don't have commercial insurance, if your company is not separate from you, then they can actually attack you personally and take all your assets. Okay? And the cash that you may have. So you want to be careful with that. You want to have some type of protection in place, policies and procedures. That's another shield of protection, along with the commercial insurance. Disclaimers. Any of that stuff, that's all supposed to protect your business. Now here's the other thing, marketing. You want to list your business on Google, Bing, Yahoo, Yelp, and all these other Apple Maps and all these other platforms. Why? Because it's, who knows, it is free. This is free marketing. It's free marketing. You may say, well, what type of marketing is that? Search engine optimization. Meaning that if you go type in on Google, you got a photography business, so I type in photography businesses in Cincinnati, Ohio. Hopefully he pops up, right? It's free. So, I mean, a lot of this stuff, I mean, we can kind of do on our own, but I mean, you know, it's up to y'all. Now, the last thing is the building the business credit. Again, I'm really not going to go too depth into this, but I would say the first thing that you can do, you can start with your net 7s, your net 30 accounts. Like there's Quill, there's Ranger, there's all these Uline, there's all these companies that you can do business with. And that's how you can get more capital for your business, if you know what you're doing. Notice what I said, if you know what you're doing. Because the business credit ain't nothing to play with. People think you can just go get $100,000 from a bank when you never built a relationship with them. It does not work that way, right? And I get it, sometimes you want to get to the bag so quick, right? You want to get to it so fast, but take out time to get into the bag, because money will come to you. Like, you can attract money. Like, you can see somebody like, oh yeah, he got some money. Yeah, he got it. You know what I mean? Because some people are taking the time with it and they're not like rushing to get the bag. So when you talk about doing some of this stuff, like don't listen to those so-called gurus and social media influencers, because they'll really get you in trouble. All right, they will get you in trouble if you don't, because some of those people don't know what they're doing. Now, has it worked for them? It probably has. But would it work for you? Probably not. Everybody's financial situation is different. So y'all gotta be careful with people telling y'all to do some of this stuff, and I guarantee you won't have none of this stuff online. Guaranteed. I'll be waiting for somebody to prove me wrong on this, because when you look at those stats, people ain't saying that. They just saying, hey, do this, do that, do this, do that, and I guarantee you'll get this. That's not how I roll. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'll be here back. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Time's up.
Sorry, ladies, let's give it up one more time for the vote. Thank you so much for giving us this fundamental, important stuff that we need for sure. Okay, so as business owners, how many of us love creating content for our business? Y'all like it? How many of y'all don't like it? Be honest. Yeah. I want somebody else. There's somebody else to do it, right? So the other person that you can get to do it is my girl, Ashley Amber. Ashley Amber, so she's going to talk about social media in today's world. Let me tell y'all this about it. I'll tell you a little bit about her business, her personal business. No, I met Ashley a couple years ago, and I love her story because this is somebody who literally did not know what she wanted to do. She just knew whatever she was going to do was going to be big. And when DeVoe talks about learning and researching what it is that you're going to do, I have been in business for 8 years, and I have been doing my own social media, and I hate it. And what I've learned in 8 years still does not compare to what she knows in social media from spending time and really doing the work and the research. So if you have questions, ask them. If you need help, say something. Because Ashley will definitely get your account to where it needs to be, and she will make sure that you have a clear message on what your business is within your social media, so that you start building the community and the crowd and the people that you're looking for and you're looking to attract. Please give it up for my girl, Ashley Amber.
Hey, y'all. Hey. All right, y'all. So, if you don't know me, I am the content connoisseur. Sorry about that. No, but I love doing content. It really just started out as a hobby, something I like to do, and it turned into a whole business for me. I like to help you guys turn that into making money for your business. Like, a lot of people, they really don't take advantage. Like, social media is free, but you gotta put in work. You gotta be able to put in the work. And that's what we do. So, how many of y'all feel like you actually making money from social media? Raise your hand if you feel like you're making money. Okay. How many of y'all feel like, I just don't have time, I wanna do it, but I don't have time? Where y'all at? Okay. And how many of y'all feel like, I wanna do it, but I don't feel like it's a good return on my investment? I'm not making the money, so why should I keep doing it? If that's you, raise your hand. Okay. Well, let me tell you what you probably might be doing wrong. I don't want to be negative Nancy, but this might be what it is. So a lot of times, you guys haven't narrowed down what it is your customer needs from you. So sometimes we so busy trying to do what we want to do instead of knowing what they need us to do. So what they need is, no matter what you sell, you have to figure out what it is your customer needs from you. And that's what you present to them every single day. And they're going to show up for it. And then they're going to start to trust you. And then they're going to want to be a part of what you're doing. And a lot of y'all in here, y'all have done business with me before. And y'all just met me on social media. Y'all been following me. Y'all felt like y'all liked me. And then it developed into you working with me. And that's how it is with sales. People will start to like what you're doing. They will start to follow your journey. And they will want to be a part of it. And they will start to support you. That means buying your products, buying your services, showing up to if you start doing events. So let's just back it up a little bit. How can we get there? The first step is going to be learning your customer. So can anybody tell me what exactly does your customer need from you? Stand up and tell me, what does she need from you? He or she need from you? Does anybody know? Tell me. Okay, that's good. What else? What does your customer need from you? That's it. Oh, that's good. Yes. What else?
They need to see more of my clothes.
That. Exactly. What you got? Oh, y'all better come on, period. Yes. All of that. She said trust. Let me tell y'all, all of these things are vital. Go ahead. Yes. So all of these things are vital. When you're consistent, that means that you're probably not gonna run off with my money. You're gonna actually ship my stuff. That means you're gonna actually show up when it's time to do the work. When you show social proof, that means that, oh, she really is out here doing what it is she says she do. She really does have quality stuff. When you start to build trust with people, then that means you ain't gotta do too much work anymore. You know, you ain't gotta do as much because now people trust you. They sending people your way now. Even if you gotta do work, they doing it for you. And that's good. You want to get them to do work for you. So I want y'all to think about this. Your business, you have to think about how you want to show up online. Do I want to show up as a personal brand, or do I want to show up as a business brand? So y'all know what I mean when I say that? Yeah. Raise your hand if you know what I mean. Oh, okay, that's great. I like that. All right, so most of us are showing up as a personal brand. I'm a personal brand. That is, for those of you who didn't raise your hand, what that means is that you are the face of your brand. You are the person who leads the business. People basically like, know, trust you, and that's what gets the business. Whereas the business brand model, oh, y'all, my bad. My bad. But yeah, if you have a business model, then that means that you really aren't the face of the company. The company kind of has its own identity. So to give you a good example of that, pull out your phone, get your phones out, and pull up scans. Go look up scans. Go look at the page. So when you look at the page, you immediately see that it has a completely different look and aesthetic apart from the owner. It's separate. Now go look at Kim Kardashian's page. So you'll see Kim show up on her page, but you really won't see her on the business page. So that's what you gotta figure out. Do you wanna be a face of the business, or do you wanna let the business be on its own? And if you wanna be a face of the business, you gotta figure out if you're gonna be ready to put in this work. Cause it's work. Look, I see July, she knows looking at work. Listen, I know. Yup. And that's the face of your business. And whereas with a business brand, it's easier because you don't really have to be the one doing the work. But at the same time, in today's society, it's a little harder just because, one, people want to buy from people these days. They want to understand the person behind it. They want to understand the person behind the brand. So it's going to be a lot harder if you want to grow a business like that. Not to say it can't be done, but it's going to take a little bit more work. So if you want to continue on the personal brand side, baby, it's where money is. It's where money is. So I would definitely suggest going that route. Hold on, y'all, I'm going to fix the slides right quick. Okay, y'all, we downloaded the slides wrong, so I'm just go ahead and do my thing. But anyway, so once you figure out what type of business you want to be, then you want to think about your industry. Okay, I know my industry, I'm here. Now, how can we niche that down? How can we niche that down even further? So the point of you niching down is because it's going to be so much harder for you to talk to people in an entire industry and reach them versus you trying to niche down and talk to a specific group of people. So how many of you feel like you're niched down? Okay, good. So those of you who aren't niched down, I got some homework for you tonight. I need you to sit down and think about what you do with your entire industry. So that means if y'all are nervous, I'm going to start getting a little shaky now. But I got you. But when you start to think about niching down, you really want to think about who you want to reach, who you want to target. So that means that, okay, I'm a hairstylist. How can I niche that down? My top service is my HD lace. I'm coding that. So that's what's going to be my niche. So when I put that in my bio, it's going to say HD lace specialist, not hairstylist. Because now, guess what? All the ladies looking for the HD lace, they're going to find me. Especially if I know what I'm doing. Same thing, like if you sell clothes, get specific about what it is you're selling. Like, take Mama for instance. She's selling y'all an experience. Guess what she do? She put the clothes on, she let y'all see how they gonna look. She show y'all the clothes when she on vacation. She's selling you an experience. She's not selling you a piece of clothing. You feel like you gonna be looking that good. You gonna be able to be on the beach too. You feel me? And that is the goal. You want to make them feel like they are a part of what you're doing, okay? So, when you think about that niche down, get real deep with it. Like, you might have to roll over this about 4 or 5 times before you get it right, and it's okay. Now, once you got that clear, you know who you're talking to now. Now it's time to start thinking about what your customer needs, what specifically they need, okay? So, where she is right now. So, say my customer, for instance, this is what I do. I sit down and I go, okay, currently, my customer, she has a business. She is probably working a 9 to 5. She's still working 40 hours a week. She's ready to be done with her job, but she is apprehensive about a lot of things because she's been burned quite a few times. So she's apprehensive, and she's not consistent. So that's my customer. So I know how to talk to her because I know exactly where she is. So when I make content, it's specifically for her. So a lot of times we're making content for everybody. When you make content for everybody, you're making it for nobody. okay? So, going back to niche down, get specific, know who you're talking to, and then you can start to make content that resonates and makes sense for that person on the other end. You want people, when they see your content, to say, oh, she's talking to me, hold on, see, the hell she talking about? You want people to go, oh, I felt that. You want to get a reaction out of them. Buying is emotional. When you can tap into those emotions, that's when you're gonna make a decision, okay? Even buying clothes, buying shoes, it's emotional. Like, they do stuff out of feelings versus just thinking. So, how can you tap into that? So, what y'all doing for it? Tell me what y'all do. What you do? You got to go for it. You got to remember. Okay, stand up. All right, so turn around. Get to the mic. So tell them what you do and why they should shop with you.
Well, my name is Jayla, and what I do is sell women's clothing for all sizes. I mainly do online right now, so I will ship to you. Or also, I've just started to do local delivery as well, so I will bring it to you as well. But mainly my reasoning of starting my business and why I'm so passionate about it is because I feel like women are just superstars, and I love to just make sure everybody knows that they can enhance their beauty in any way. So don't feel uncomfortable rocking whatever you rock and wear it because it's yours, and if you like it, put it on. It's like, just be comfortable, be confident, and just, love yourself no matter what other people are thinking. And that's just something that I've always just felt passionate about. So I'm just, mainly trying to build women's confidence and let them know that, hey, doesn't matter what nobody else thinks as long as you love it. So that's it.
So we want to say who exactly we serving. Where's our girl going? Okay? So, excuse me, I'm a liar. But when you present it, you want to always think about who this is for. So when I hear that, I don't hear these clothes are competing. So I'm going to have to go look and see. And 9 times out of 10, before I let you, I already got it. So you need to have it in my mind that those clothes are competing. That this brand is for me. And then I need you to work on shortening it. That's too long. So that's like one of the biggest things. Like, y'all really have to think about, what people can take from you in 2 seconds. Like, that's how we got it. That's how we got real life, and that's how we got online. It's about 2.3 seconds. And then you lost my attention, just like everybody else. So when you post that content, when you meet people in person, leave the long-winded stuff behind. Like, get straight to the point. The last thing I want to say is just building relationships. Building relationships online is so important. Building community. So community is the #1 thing right now. And what that means is literally building a group of people around what you do. Building it around like we done. The ladies that come to us are the same people that shop with us, are the same people who book our services. We build a community around what we do, online and offline. And that's what you have to do. When you start to build your community up, that's how you'll start to see those people who really want to see you win. Because I ain't even gonna hold y'all, like, the people online, they be looking for you harder than the people in your front yard. Like, they be looking for you hard. And I feel like the biggest thing that people do is take those people for granted. And we forget about those people who've been riding with us since we had 700 followers, since we had 500 followers. We are so busy trying to get new people in, when really the bread and butter comes from the people who've been there, who keep shopping. It comes from repeat customers, not new customers. It is 5 times harder to get a new customer. So that means it's your job to not only make content that makes sense for somebody just seeing your stuff for the first time, but you need to also make stuff that caters to people who've been following you. So that means you need to sit down and you need to think about a strategy that caters to both of those people. Because you'll lose those people who've been in it. When they feel like they're being ignored, you don't care about them no more, they old news, you lose them. So, do y'all have any questions or anything? I feel like I'm rambling. Go ahead, hold on, let's start with the other people.
How do you build a community and good infrastructure? Me, I'm very shy, very quiet.
All right, stand up. Stand up. Come on, we gotta talk this out.
I'm very shy, I'm very quiet, I really don't want to be a face in my ring, even though I know it's a good thing. But I'm a real life influencer, I really don't like to, I like to talk to people, but I'm really shy. You will have to come to me to talk to me, but that's not a struggle with most people.
You gotta just work through it. Listen, I know that's a cliche answer, but you just gotta work through it. Did y'all hear me when I said I was up there, my voice was trembling, I didn't sweat, I'm hot, because I hate talking in public. I feel like, like I still get really nervous, but I know I gotta push through it because I got something to say. And it's the same thing with you. You got something to say, so you gotta push through it. Practice in the mirror. Practice. That's all you can really do. The more you do it, the better you can get at it. You have to push yourself in these moments. No matter how scared you are, you walk up to people. Give yourself a goal. Tell yourself, hey, I'm going to talk to 5 people in this room today. How many people you talk to today?
I talk to quite a few people, because I work in a public, so I'm always talking to people about my brand.
Okay.
But, just a random person, I would never be like, hey, I feel like it, because I don't want people to think that I'm bragging or.
Baby, that's not bragging. You better stop that. Anybody that think you bragging, then you need your cup of tea. So I'm trying to you. Before we leave today, I want you to talk to 5 people you've never seen before, never shopped with you before. Talk to them, tell them about your business, okay? Hold on 1 second, y'all. We had somebody right here. Go ahead.
So a lot of people saying like finding your niche. So like with her having a clothing brand like Apple Boutique. So when you sell like 6 to 5 things, like I sell tops, bottoms, shoes, whatever. How am I finding my niche if I sell? How am I finding my right person if I sell a section? Like, you know what I'm saying?
So it's not really that you're saying, I only sell dresses or I only sell shirts. Your niche is more or less like your group of people. So is your girl the party girl? Is your girl the girl that's going to work? Like, who is she? So you might have to sit down and think about your avatar person and figure that out first. And that's going to help you with your niche. Now, I know some people, they sell like a large array of clothes. It's going to be harder for you. It's going to be harder for you. Like, it's easier if you think about, like, who exactly this girl is, who's buying from you. Does she have kids? Does she need company clothes to take the kids to soccer games? Is she at the club on the weekend? Like, is that her? Like, so you gotta think about that, okay? And then DM me, because I want you to tell me what you find out. Like, create your avatar and then DM me, okay? All right, in the back, hold on, I think there's somebody with the colors. Y'all, this light is killing me. Jesus Christ.
Move over there. Stand up.
Okay. I feel like I'm really moved over here.
There you go.
All right, let's take it there.
How often would you recommend creating content? Like, how many times a day should you be posting on your social media?
Okay, so this is a real tricky question. All right, so creating content, one, you gotta find your rhythm. You gotta find what works for you. So for some people, that might be sitting and just creating 10, 12 videos at one time. That might mean creating a month's worth of videos. You gotta find what works for you. How many times you should post? What can you stay consistent with? So that's 3 days a week right now, then that's what you need to do. You ain't gonna get very far because that ain't enough. But stick with what you can do first and build your way up. Because that's what be happening. Y'all go ahead here trying to do 7 days a week and then you fall off because you're gonna miss the day. Like, stick with what you can do, like what you can stay consistent with. And then you can always, look at your analytics. Y'all know how to read the analytics, right?
Yes.
All right, so look at your analytics and you can see what the best days to post are. Instagram can tell you that. mostly everybody said the same thing, to be honest. Because it's not a chronological thing anymore. So it really is hard to family gauge what the best time is, because you might post today and we ain't gonna see it for 2 days. You see what I'm saying? Anybody else have, okay, go ahead.
I did want to answer the lady's question in pink.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know, let her know that I was a fashion designer, and I did deal with a lot of people that shy, that come to me and tell me like, well, I don't look like a certain colors, so, I'm willing to help you with anything, fashion, hair, makeup, and anything. A lot of my customers do come to me privately, so I will.
Y'all better do that. Yes, you better get her number. You better get her number. Don't you play. I'm gonna need your info too, because I'm gonna follow up on you. I gotta watch you. All right, anybody else got any questions? Go ahead, Bo.
What about makeup?
What
I
about it?
feel like I got lip glosses, eyeshadow, eyelashes, like what is my like everything?
No. No. So again, that does not mean picking a specific product. That means, okay, so my industry is beauty, but my niche is gonna be, I forget the types of makeup, but it's natural faces or whatever the case. So if you specialize in natural faces, you're gonna have all the products for that. Or if you specialize in high glam, you're gonna have all the products for that. And 9 times out of 10, the pictures and stuff that you post, the work that you post is gonna reflect that. And then you're showing us the products with, with the stuff that you're posting. So,
We like to like overthinking it.
you definitely overthink it. It be a lot of people, don't worry. Go ahead.
So I would recommend that you use like hashtags in our like posts or in our reels and everything.
I'm glad you asked that. Y'all, they been playing with us so hard about these hashtags. One minute they like, oh, they don't matter, that's the hashtag. And they like, oh, they matter. So right now they matter. So what you want to do is now, they are favoring high number hashtags. So for a minute, you wanted to try to use low number hashtags. But now they're favoring them, so you want to try to use a mix. But the key is, check them hashtags before you start using them. You want to make sure that it's not a bad one. Y'all know what a bad one is, right? Those bad ones, it's a lot of bad hashtags. Hashtags that honestly, they really shouldn't be, but people abuse them. And then they just, so they won't work. And it'll actually get your page messed up if you keep using it. So check the hashtags, make sure it's a good one. If it's a bad one, it'll be a message at the top that says like, this hashtag is no longer something, something. But if it doesn't have that message, then it's a good hashtag. But I would not say spend endless hours, doing research on hashtags like we used to. ChatGPT, game changer. Game changer. So, game changer is ChatGPT. So, if you struggle, this is a sidebar. If you struggle with coming up with content ideas, coming up with, if you do emails, anything, ChatGPT can help you. But the thing about it, this stuff is not, what's the word I'm looking for?
Foolproof.
It's not, what's you say?
Foolproof.
There you go. It's not foolproof. That means it has not been proven that that's right. So you can actually read it and make sure it's right. And fix whatever it's in. So don't just copy and paste it. Another good one is Answer the Public. I really like AnswerThePublic.com just because it'll break it down completely for you. So what that one does is it'll tell you what people are searching within your niche or industry. It'll tell you all the stuff that people are Googling, searching on TikTok. Like, it'll literally tell you everything, and you can create content around it. It's AnswerThePublic.com.
And the other one was game changer.
ChatGPT.
Chat.
Mhm.
What do you think about scheduling posts? You know how you can schedule it?
Okay, it's good and bad. So, are you talking about within Instagram or outside, the third party? Okay, so I love it, but I actually don't use it. So I use it for myself sometimes, but for other people it's a little hard because it doesn't post on Facebook. So it's like, for me, it's still like, I gotta go post it, so I might as well just do it myself. But otherwise, that, like, is really good, especially if there's somebody, those people who said they ain't have time, that's what you can sit and do, make your content, and then you literally just schedule it out. So you give me a look, you got a question, right here, yes,
Yes, because I'll
tell me.
yes, because you said several times, like, as far as creating your content, have it come out on certain days and certain times.
Yeah,
I've
girl,
heard
go
about it,
ahead.
but I'm not familiar with it.
Okay.
I'm not, internet savvy.
Alright. Alright, this ain't my stuff, I don't wanna mess with it, I'm scared. But literally, if you, like, if you're going to make a post or a reel, and then at the bottom, you'll see advanced settings. When you go to advanced, then inside there, you'll see like where you can schedule a post, you can add subtitles, it's like a whole bunch of different options in there.
And this is in the reels.
You can do that for reels and you can do it for regular posts. Yeah, it's burned up. Alright. They said my time up, so y'all still got hands up. Just come to me, like, we do our little menu section, and we can talk, okay?
Thank you.
Y'all please give it up for Erin. And I will say, another young lady, I think it's you in the green that's worked with Ashley before. No, it was somebody over there that is familiar with Ashley, but I have, taken her classes, I've taken her real class, I've taken her courses, and sis definitely knows what she's talking about. And what you want to say?
I forgot to tell y'all, I got an upcoming class. So the class is coming up July 9th. It's gonna be from 11 to 3. And we're gonna dive deep into all of this and more, and it's gonna be a hands-on portion. So IamCreativelyYou.com is the website, and then my Instagram is @itsAshleyAmber. Thank you.
I was getting to that. But no, I have taken her classes and taken her courses. In August, I think I had 6,000 followers. Today, I have over 41,000. So, if this is talking, make sure y'all listen. Okay? Okay, we're gonna do a couple more rappers, and then we're gonna have our panel, and then we're gonna let y'all finish getting to know one another. The next giveaway that we are going to do is from the Morgan A. Owens brand. This is for a business owner, Morgan Angelique Owens. And she's giving away a Boss Babe kit and a VIP ticket to the next Harold Beauty Con event. And that is Mirage Girl. Come up here and get your prize. I know her personally, y'all. That's why I was feeling like that. I wasn't sure if she was still in the room or not. You don't have fun at the beauty con, girl, snap about it. Okay. Next giveaway. First off, I just want to say I'm really excited to meet you, Chrissy. Chrissy, stand up. Yeah, girl. Give it up for Chrissy. So Chrissy is giving away 4 complimentary eyeshadow palettes. Okay. And this is going to go to Diana P. Diana P.
Oh, and, not a food.
Oh, all right. It comes up a sheet. Congratulations. And let's see here. Miley Pooh Sweets. Is she here? No? Okay. Well, Miley Pooh Sweets is giving you a $25 gift card. And that is going to go to Shamanica. You a representative? Turn around. Everybody turn around. That's the representative. Thank you. You cute. Okay. And the next giveaway is going to be 2 this is from Workforce Solutions, Ms. Jessica Wright. Well, y'all can give it up for Jessica, because she gave me 3 hours of her service. Oh, I love y'all. There's so many y'all names. Delijah. Did I say it right? You look beautiful. I love that hair. You're welcome. 2 hours of free consultation. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do our business panel. I'm going to ask Ms. Chanel Gentry, Ms. Simone Charles, and Ms. Mama Jones to join me. Please give it up for these ladies. And I'm sitting on this side because this is the side where my nipple is on, so it's on this side. That's fine. I just want my day. Hey, Simone, girl. That's fine. Okay, before we start our panel, I'm gonna allow each woman to tell you what her business is, how long she has been in business, and what it is she does. Starting with you, Ms. Simone.
Hi guys, so
So my name is Simone Charles, and I am the Confetti Consultant. I am a serial entrepreneur. I've been in business for myself for 8 going on 9 years. I have had the pleasure of opening 4 of my own venues and consulting to the tune of 10 venues, helping my clients to make over $7 million in event sales.
So I'm Mama Jones. I've been in business for 7 years. I have a beauty salon called Define Beauty Door. I have a boutique called Define Boutique. I offer business coaching where I help people start, run, and maintain their business called Define with Coaching. I also host the Airbnb, and I'm also a lunch stand.
And you okay?
And then I'm also the other head of Boss Babe Linda.
hi everyone. My name is Chanel Gentry. I am also a serial entrepreneur and a portfolio entrepreneur. I've been in business since 2008 as a business owner. Yeah, so what else I should say? I'm excited to be here. I have 9 active businesses and counting. I have also helped the reason why I am a serial entrepreneur because I started many businesses and have not sold but given them to those who have worked for me. I'm a portfolio entrepreneur because I have multiple successful businesses. So I also do business coaching. I mentor a lot. I'm just going to say this one thing because I'm very proud of Maya that this was when somebody else mentoring. She done made one past me. So she's one of them. I have a lawyer that I mentor. I have some high-end people that I have been in their life and just been guidance before they were as big as they are. So it's a blessing for me to be able to say that I have been an inspiration to my people.
Thank you. Okay, so I wanted to start off because I want you all to know that we do not have people up here that are just talking nonsense that they don't know nothing about. Nothing. Okay? These women have done the work that you are doing and that you are going to do. They have maintained their businesses. Y'all, please turn off the light. Okay. But they actually know what it is to be in your shoes and what it is that you all are going through and you all are experiencing. So I'm going to ask a couple questions, but I really want you all to utilize this opportunity to ask the question that you came here to get answers to tonight. You do yourself a disservice when you come to events like this and you do not open your mouth. And that's just me being honest with you. Okay? Okay. And then ladies, please do your best to keep the answers not too winded. just because. This trying is important, you know, but just, we have a time when we wanna make sure that everybody get back to their families in a decent hour. Okay, so first question is, what are some key lessons that you've learned over the course of your entrepreneurial journey that you wish you had known earlier? And Simone, I'm gonna start with you.
Key lessons. Key lessons for me would have to be the importance of social capital. So, I have had the opportunity to scale my business, and in doing that, I've learned that one of the most important things that I wish I would have known when I first started was the importance of social capital, the importance of asking for help. And when I say social capital, I mean currently I'm in the process of building out an app. And it is a space that I don't quite understand because I don't have a tech background. But for me, what social capital means and what it has taught me is that when you are in rooms like this, I'm an introvert. When you're in rooms like this, you have to take advantage of the people that are in these rooms. Because there's so much that us, being minorities, may not have the opportunity to just, grow up with. We may not have people in our families that have businesses that are at a certain scale. And so when you're in these types of rooms, you have to make sure that you do your homework, make sure that you think about the people that are gonna be on the panel, make sure that you are networking. And there are times where you may need $1 million, and I'm telling you this because I know, okay? There are times where you want to scale a business. You may need $50,000, you may need $1 million, you may need, someone with a tech background. And social capital, if you truly go and you think about all of the different resources, people-wise, that you have in your life, you can find $1 million. I kid you not.
I knew you were gonna say that. What are some key lessons that you've learned over the course of your entrepreneurial journey that you wish you had known earlier?
So for me, it would be creating a team. I feel like for years, I tried to do everything alone. And I feel like if I would have trusted and having a team sooner, I would be further than I am now. Of course, we all have the fear of hiring people and putting them into your business or just trusting them to do right by your business. But it's really important because even if you think you can do everything by yourself, you really can't. Also, something else would definitely be creating boundaries. That's something that I'm just, like within the past year learning is creating boundaries. I almost allowed my business to lead me to depression because I didn't have boundaries. And I would let people call me, it never stopped. So I was too overwhelmed and I held everything in. I didn't have anybody to talk to it about, so it was literally driving me crazy. So definitely creating boundaries, knowing when to cut things off and just not allow certain things.
Thank you.
Okay, one thing I wish I had known is, what should I say? Saving and investing. And I say that because as most of us, I came from a poverty home. So when I started making that money, 6 figures to me, baby, I was like, and guess what I did? I did great things. I made investments, I have property, but I wanted that nice car, and still do. And that's what I like. But then when times got tough, so the pandemic was an eye-opener for me. Okay, I don't know about everybody else. I got a lot of blessings out of it, don't get me wrong. But some of my businesses failed drastically because of it. And I wasn't prepared for that. So thank God I had multiple businesses. I actually, because I have a big group, you can't use one business to fund the other. I keep them separate. But baby, when I think they did, there was one business that was thriving, and it was taking care of all, like most of them. So one thing I learned is that you need to save. We start making that money, we want to post, we want to take trips. You can take those trips. And you're supposed to take those trips and have fun, but make sure you still save. And you put something to the side, because you never know. That's one of the things when it comes to business and having a 9 to 5. I don't knock anybody out to 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong with it. Because at the end of the day, a business owner, you're working for someone as well. because I have customers I have to please. So sometimes it's gratifying to just have that 9 to 5, and you know, on Friday I'm getting paid. And I know what my check is. With the business, sometimes you work, and then next thing you know, you're like, I lost a huge contract during the pandemic, a contract that was paying me $48,000 per month. So just imagine how that could be. So my lifestyle was based on that income that was coming in per month. So it taught me, you know what, scale it back a little bit. You know, just a little bit. People tell you, you know, just scale it back a little bit. So that's what I learned.
Okay, so, I'm gonna let you just give it back just a little bit. So Lana, you just mentioned something, which was also a struggle for me, so I'm going to go to, that question. And it is, when do you know that your business has reached the point where outsourcing duties is necessary? And what processes do you use to vet the people that you outsource your business to? Starting with Candy, Ms. Simone. She said, that's a good question.
This one hits home for me. So, me being a serial entrepreneur, I literally have multiple businesses that are working at the same time. Some of my businesses are venues, some of them are rental and floral, and I have to make sure that the businesses don't cannibalize each other. They speak to different audience, they earn different, they command different dollar amounts, and because of that, it's important for me to make sure that the person or the people that I'm putting to work for me, the people that are carrying my brand through, have an understanding of the importance of each brand, understanding of who my customer is, who I'm talking to, what the brand commands. For me, the biggest thing is my brands really command experience, and so I'm very much experience focused. And so learning to bring someone in was, it was a lifesaver, but it was also very hard for me to learn how to release the babies, basically. And so I had an experience where I brought someone in, they worked for me for 3 years, they became very, very close to me and my family. And then I had to let them go because of boundaries. And I went through a depression because I went through so much of a depression that I refused to walk into my office. I had just redone my office and I refused to walk into it because I let them be so close to me. And so it was very much a learning lesson for me. But what ended up happening, and I'm gonna say God, pretty much put me in a position to where I had to overcome that. So I let them go in October, and then in January, which is typically my down season, I get the biggest contract that I've ever had in my business. In addition to that, I also had to start 2 additional businesses at the same time. And so it was sink or swim. And I'm a person where I consult other creative and service-based businesses, specifically on the importance of systems. Because for me, it's so important that in order to thrive, in order to be able to deliver a consistent experience, we have to make sure that we have systems and processes in place. And so going through this experience just made me realize that not only was it something that I was consulting about and telling my clients about, but truly I had to fall back and rely on my systems to carry me over when I was in my bed going through depression and thinking about the fact that, okay, I relied on this person, see, this is why you don't trust nobody. It was the systems and the processes that I had set in my business that allowed the business to continue making money on things that I couldn't get about my bed.
For me, I would say, like I said, that, you know, leading the team is really important. Although I was scared, I really just started in the past 2 years, like outsourcing people. I tried to do everything on my own, which is impossible. But I did it so I didn't have no other option. I will say, hire slow and fire fast. Like she said, I'm one of those people, I get attached to people, I get comfortable, you become my staff, now we friends, now we whatever. That's just really not good, like, trying to leave everything business and don't let, it become personal, will help you, trust the outsourcing, have systems in place, utilizing websites that can help make it easier for you. But definitely hire slow and fire fast. I need to take my advice.
I would say, if I'm speaking to you all, it's all about going where you want to go, okay? Everybody's business does not require for you to have say, because everyone might not want to go up here. It's where you're comfortable. If you're comfortable with a business that keeps you, is stagnant in a certain spot, and it provides what you need, and it keeps your stress level to a certain extent, that's what you need to do. So, but if you ever do get to that point, when you say, hey, I need to bring someone in, that's why we say hire slow and fire fast. I mean, take your time when you choose the person that you're gonna bring into. No one's gonna care for your business the way you're gonna care for your business. So with that being said, take your time. Just because somebody seems cool, don't mean nothing. I pick up on energy, okay? And when I meet with you, you might be coming in for a bit, you might be wondering like, why don't you ask me these personal things? I want to know what you got going on in your life. I want to know a little bit of your testimony, because I'm gonna know where you stand. You know, so with that being said, just take your time, you know, read people and go with your gut feeling, and they gas. Trust me. It's your intuition, you know? I tell people all the time, so yeah, it just depends on where you wanna go, that's the number one thing you need to know, you know, because, I mean, I guess that's basically what you need, it's.
Yeah.
People around you.
Yeah. I would also add to ladies, and this is just as someone who has had to outsource, know what your strengths and your weaknesses are. Your weaknesses, you need to learn them so you know the basics, but that's where you outsource. I love being the talent. My price is my price. I don't want to talk about anything else. I want somebody else to talk about it and make sure that you know though. Because I don't feel comfortable talking about money. Like, that's just me. I like coming out here, I like being cute, I like, you know what I'm saying, getting to know people, networking, you know, maybe I get a laugh or two about y'all for the evening, and I feel like my job is done. But I want my money, and I need somebody to tell me that for me. Because that's me, you know what I'm saying? And like we just talked about, you know, I did low-key plug my friend, but that's what you're supposed to do when you friends in business. But you know, social media. I'm on social media all day. I absolutely hate it. I absolutely hate it. And when I need to call Ashley Amber and say, friend, I need a consultation or I need some help, I'm gonna do that because I don't wanna do it. I wanna focus on my craft. I wanna know what I wanna know. I'm gonna know the basics. I'm gonna learn what I have to learn and I'm gonna do my research, but get somebody else to do it. Because I don't want to. So know what your strengths are and know what your weaknesses are, and your weaknesses are where you outsource. I will also recommend, and then I ain't gonna talk too much because I ain't okay, but if you've ever heard of Rachel Rogers, it's a book that she has called We Should All Be Millionaires. Phenomenal book. And she talks about the importance of outsourcing in that book. Because the more that you outsource, the more you have the opportunity to be great at what it is that you do. You gotta invest in yourself, and investing in yourself sometimes looks like outsourcing in your business. Okay, my next question to these beautiful ladies are, what strategies or techniques have you found to be effective in building a strong brand and establishing a presence in your prospective markets? And my mom actually started with you on this one. I know, she was like, I'm gonna give you this back from me first. And she's not. But, and I asked that question, Mama, because like Ashley was saying, you have to find your niche. Before I knew who you were, I knew, oh, that's the girl with the boutique. That's the girl I was gonna be in the cute club, you know what I'm saying? So how did you build that presence and make it so strong that when people see, that's the girl with the boutique, how did you do it?
To be honest, it was like something just came to me with it. Like, it was like, where people always came to be like, come to this, or can you put this together? Because you would have asked me 5 years ago. But I was sitting that wasn't in, it wasn't in the plan. Honestly, nothing of those things was something I thought I would be doing. 5 years ago, I would have been.
Would you say that your consistency to show up contributed to that?
Yes. So I'm very, like, that's one thing that I read is I'm super consistent with my business, working. I'm one of those people that really take, like, it's not a 9 to 5, it's 24/7. Like, I take it, like, I go overboard with it. Like,
That's why you needed boundaries. That was your problem. I got you.
Yeah, that's why. But honestly, I didn't realize how much of a passion it was. Like, I didn't realize that it was a passion of mine. And like, it's a passion. I didn't know that though. So follow your passion. A lot of people are, they like, I want to do something, but I don't know what. Whatever your passion is, that's where you should really start. Because that's where you're going to be most consistent. That's where you're going to show up the most, put the most work behind. When it's something that somebody says, oh, do this, it's probably not going to do what it's supposed to do because that might be not be what's for you, or that's not a passion for it, so you're not going to give it your all.
Yeah. Okay, what strategy or technique have you found effective to build a strong brand or establish your presence in the market that you're working in?
For me, it is loving on people. I do everything in service. So me being on stage in front of you is very much different for me, for anyone that has known my brand, because I do everything in service so much that it's my clients who have had to push me to be here in front of you. So what has stood out to me in the past year is I walked into a room and typically people didn't know how to introduce me. And when I walked into the room, the person across the room said, oh my God, there she goes. That's the lady that creates Black accents. And that completely changed my life. Because everything that I did it in service for my clients. So I would throw events for my clients. I've been with them for 10 plus years. Then it went from throwing events to them calling me and saying, hey, I'm building out a boutique. Hey, I'm building out a cookie shop. Hey, I'm building out a donut place. And no, I don't want you to throw the event. I want for you to come in at the beginning and walk me through the project management. What people don't know is typically I'm told, hey, you're the Napoleon, or they call me a bulldog. Because they know that if they put me in the room, I'm going to do everything to basically advocate on their behalf. And I'm not here to make myself look good, I'm here to make them look good. And so what happened is, for so much of me being in business, I haven't had to do any marketing. My businesses have evolved, and basically the clients have done all the marketing for me. And so the biggest thing I would say is just, it's so important for you to think about your service. Again, my sweet spot is creative and service entrepreneurs, because one of the things that I've realized is that, us being minority entrepreneurs, many of us work with our hands and our bodies. Many of us are micro businesses, and we are solopreneurs, and we're service-based businesses, and we know what we do, we can deliver. We do it so damn well. But the problem is that we aren't able to scale these types of businesses because we haven't taken the time to focus on the operations and delivery. We know how to sell, we know that we do what we do well, but we don't worry about the delivery. And so I definitely think that focusing on the experience and remembering that what you do is in service to the person that is paying you, and that will take you the longest way.
Okay, I'm gonna use Yamaya as an example of this. I'm gonna say this because Ashley spoke so well. Something that she said when she said financial, right? You gotta think about it. The people that you know that have a lot of fame or well known, they're not known for being a jack of all trades. They're the master of one. For instance, Nicki, let's say, Cardi B. She did that one song that went big and then it was doing. It takes one thing for you to be known. You know, Leela, she braids hair. She's known for braiding Dixie. She's known for braids. She does hair. She can do other things. I say that to say, Yamaya, when she first decided she wanted to have a boutique, I'll be honest, I didn't want her to do it. I don't know if she ever told you about that. So she was like, what you think? And I said, you know, I'm not a fan of it because everyone's doing it now. So I said, if you do it, you have to make sure it sets you apart from everybody. You have to have something that, one thing that they know for. Let me tell you. She went home and started looking online, looking at other boutiques in other cities, Atlanta, LA. Next time I met with her, she was like, okay, so this girl, she does this, she does that. And I went and ordered a ring light, a backdrop. She went in her house, okay, and started taking these pictures. And she said, so what I'm gonna do, I ordered these certain clothes, I'm gonna order a certain amount. I'm gonna take a bunch of pictures in my house. She did this in her home. Okay, she only had a lash bar. And it grew so fast. So what it is you have to find, you have to go and you have to do research. Business is not about, okay, this is what I want to do. You have to sit down, look into what other businesses are doing that makes them successful, and that's how you piggyback. That's all it's about. You learn from someone else. So that's how you're going to be successful in business. You can't be like, I did this and this is me, this is what I do. You have to say, you know what? It only feels good if you go off from someone else and you make it even better. And you make it, you know, and it feels good to that person to know that, okay, you know what? She took this and excelled. So that's what she did. And I was like, well, she proved me wrong. I was like, you know, the young thing, I don't think you should. She went out there because that was her passion, like she said. And look at her now. She's got the most thriving boutique in our city. People don't even know who Mama is sometimes. They know who the Fine Boutique is, for sure. A lot of people know her, but I'm saying, when you say the Fine Boutique, they definitely know. When they walk in that place, they don't always see Yamaya, but they're definitely gonna see her brand. Okay, so they see her clothes. And it's the first thing she said, I wanna have clothes where it not just have to be the worn out clothes, it could be the everyday clothes. I can remember like yesterday that conversation. So to see where she is now, that's what, this is beautiful.
I love that you used her as an example, because one of the things, if I had to speak on you, I would say, the technique and the strategy that you want to use is to stay authentic. Don't try to be nobody else but you. Because yes, there are a ton of boutiques in the city of Cincinnati. But she set herself apart by just being her. So you set yourself apart. Just like you were talking about, Christy, with your makeup and your eyeshadow and your palettes and stuff like that. You set yourself apart because everybody can have something if they want to, but they're not Chrissy P's. You hear me? They can't wear Chrissy P's. You know what I mean? So you have to make sure that you. God, I'm gonna answer the question. You know who you are when you start this journey. Know who you are and know what it is that you want to do. And they said it, especially you, Simone, like, in my mind, when you find what you're passionate about and it is in service to somebody else, that's probably your golden ticket. You know, no.
So when I start a business, I don't tell people that I'm starting a business. Or if I invest in a business or I buy a business, I usually don't tell people. I usually hide my membership in a trust. And I do it specifically for a reason. And so when I had an opportunity where I sold my first venue, went to San Francisco, came back, and decided that I was gonna open another one. And I come back to the city, I don't tell anybody that. And I opened the venue. It was open for a month. People started walking past it. And I don't think that I do anything special, okay? That's because I didn't understand what God was doing at that point. So I don't think I do anything special. I open up the venue and I don't tell anybody. And what happens is people start calling me. And the calls sound like, girl, somebody done ripped you off. I said, what you mean? They said, well, I just walked past such and such, and I swear it looked like you better put your hands on it. And I just started smiling. I said, what you mean? They said, well, I swear it just says everything about you. And at that point, it clicked for me that it doesn't matter if there's 20 other people that open up something. It really doesn't matter. Because what you do, just like what my mind decided to do, in her own way, literally God will give you those answers. And the way that she executed, it's not going to be how anyone else executed. And so after that happened to me, I stopped worrying about the millions of other loaves of bread that are on the shelf. That's how you got to think about it. It's millions of other loaves on the shelf. It's millions of bottles of water. You can demand your price, you can put your label on it, and you can deliver it the way that you want to deliver it, and know who you're going to sell it to. What she said.
Up the floor and allow you ladies to ask some questions. And keep in mind that this is an opportunity for you to learn and soak up. Yes, ma'am. Who? Girl, say it out loud. Miana, thank you.
So I have a question for, Ms. Small and Ms. Gentry. So you both said you are still entrepreneurs. Are all of y'all businesses under like one umbrella, like now with healthcare, I got different businesses, but they all under the same brand? So are y'all under the same umbrella, or is it like totally separate businesses?
Mine's all over. I have a trucking company, for semi-trucks. I have a cleaning company. I'm a general contractor, a female general contractor, and I touch every wings and rings in the city, CC's Pizza. I did KJC through 100% from the ground up. The list goes on, 580 Building City Club. List goes on, you never know, because when she's talking about the face, I don't put my face on my businesses. I have a waxing, B2B Wax. It's two businesses in one. People body waxing, and I also sell wax. So a lot of estheticians in the city come to my business if I wax. You'll never know that I own them. Because I'm hardly there. It's a self-sufficient business. I try to open self-sufficient businesses. That's number one. And that means a business that operates without me having to do little to any work. So I can sleep. I'm here with y'all now. Just making money because it's 7. But that's what I do. I have a coffee shop at the grand opening in July 1st. Drip coffee behind Javon Hill. I have an event center. It's called John Cody Event Center in Coleraine. I have a salon. I have a lot of businesses, so they're not. And a lot of times you'll never know that I'm the owner, because I actually had an investor. So I work with investors as a general contractor. And this is a good story. I have an investor, a new investor out of Atlanta that I've been flipping their properties. They do multi-families. And she came to me and she said, Miss Chanel, I want to tell you something. If you take constructive criticism. And I said, absolutely. I want to give you my gloves if it wasn't for me. I'm a sponge. I want to hear it all. She said, well, I looked you up. And she said, I couldn't find nothing about you on your business. She told me you were this and you this, but your face was nowhere to be found. So I'm telling you that you should put your face out there. And she's from Atlanta, and I told her, I said, I love that you feel that way, but I said, there's a purpose for why I don't, okay? We don't live in Atlanta. Atlanta is minority driven, you hear me? Here, it's not like that. I can tell you stories where my assistant, two of my prior assistants were Caucasian people, and one was a woman. And they would talk to me on the phone. But then when we go to that place and we meet them people, they got their hand out, and guess what they want to first? My Caucasian assistant, they don't think they cheat Chanel. They don't even look at my varsity itself, you know? So my face is there because guess what? I'm a deliverer of a beautiful brand. I don't have to be the face to give you great service. And every single one of my businesses on Google or whatever has 5 stars. Not that nobody's perfect, but I'm saying we thrive for excellence. I put a lot of time into my businesses. So, yeah, your question, they're all around the board. You just might not know my face, you might not see my face on there, but I don't know about that, so I'm all
So I definitely agree that it's important to separate because one of the most important things for you to think about, Nicole touched on this earlier, is that should something happen and you're sued and they pierce the corporate veil, then you're piercing the corporate veil to be able to take all of your assets. And so once I realized that, I started learning that it was important for me to create trust, not only to think about generational wealth and succession planning, but also to make sure that I'm hiding my assets. Because yes, I'm from Atlanta, and I know that visibility is what sells, but people that truly have money and are building wealth, it is so important for us to think about, protecting assets. It's not about, being flashy and telling people what you own. And so because of that is why I've learned, I'm actually gonna let you pay me without thinking that you pay me. And I want y'all to think about the fact that there are some people who would purposefully not pay you. After I realized that, I stopped putting my name on stuff. And I let them go ahead and run their money. Okay? So I want y'all to really think about that when you're, doing your businesses.
I wanted to ask you a question. When you asked that question, did you mean, is they all under the same LLC?
No,
Or
like,
did you mean
different,
just different things?
like different, categories, like different stuff. But not all under the same LLC, but they all based on health.
Right.
Think about the fact that you can also be strategic as well. You can hide assets and you can protect assets, but let's say you're just starting a business and maybe they all correlate and you're in the same industry per se, if that's what you're asking. When I first started, one of the things that I did is I used the longevity of one business to catapult the other business in order to obtain credit and financing and things like that. But then once I got to a certain point, I made sure that I protected the assets, I broke them up, and then I hid them.
I think, one thing that I would pick up on what these ladies just said, is especially Ms. Chanel, y'all better start recognizing who y'all talking to. Because I came here and you complimented me. You did. And I could have been nasty, because I was pissed about that party. Y'all hear me? I was pissed when I got here about that party. Shout out to Mary. And I came, she said, you look so pretty in that pink. And I said, thank you so much. And baby, I didn't even know you was the one on stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't know. You don't know who you're talking to until sometimes you get there and then you realize this lady with 12 businesses who probably got more money than me in the bank could teach me something, you know what I mean, who could coach me. And if I had been nasty, I probably just would have ruined mine. You know what I mean? So just recognize who you all are talking to. Just because they're in this room, that does not mean they're in the same position as you. Okay? Some people, I ain't gonna preach, but y'all better start recognizing the things that God do for y'all. Because some people were in this room because God told them to be in this room today. They didn't need to be in this room, but they're in this room because you are in this room. And you need to be able to ask questions that you don't know the answers to. sorry, I just had to say that because I think I did know. You know what I mean? And that's important. I got you, sis, but I know you had a question too. Yes, ma'am.
This is for everybody. I wanted to know about, like, business funding, what is a good way to get started for grants, business loans,
Okay. I'm gonna let the panel answer that question. That's all we're like talking about.
So each year, I get over $100,000 in grants.
Yeah, I'm gonna learn from you too.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say, I am not the one to teach you how to get grants, but I am going to say that I'm the one who is out there, I'm not going to change or leave it, okay? I've also realized as well, because I bootstrap my businesses, there came a point where I realized the importance of injection of capital, injection of funding, the ability to obtain a grant and not have to reduce your equity in your business. And so looking back at my P&Ls, I can honestly say that, it really stood out to me when I looked back and I was like, ooh, I get about $100,000 in grants a year. And that's just from being in the community and really focusing on my social capital. Once people know that I'm hungry, they put me in rooms.
I would like to add too is, before you can get those business grants and business money, you have to make sure that your business is line free. Kind of like the Bo was saying earlier, making sure that you have all of those steps properly placed, even something as simple as the address that you're using in being an actual business, and they name the business a virtual address. Just little things like that could affect your getting grant. So just making sure that you have all of those things in line before you go apply for those grants for those that business funded.
when you get to that line, it's like the next step, like you use, like, how you go about finding your friends, you just go like, hello Alice, you just go love.
Hello, Alice is great.
Yeah, I get it.
Everybody don't know about Hello Alice? Yeah, you should know about Hello Alice. It already closed, the 20th. But it's Hello Alice is a website that gives you all available grants out there and you can apply.
What I'll say is, if everything is in order, most people ask the question, well, dang, I got all my, everything checks the box, and I submit the application while I keep getting denied. And for me, when I started explaining this to people, I explained it to them in the realm of thinking of when you're doing an event in your program, right? So if you're doing an event and you're going to a business to ask for sponsorship or funds, right? You're gonna make sure that what you're doing and what you're asking for aligns with what that business does, right? So, for instance, I wanted to throw a bridal show. I wanted Saks to throw a bridal show. And so I went to an organization here in the city, and I said, hey, I want them to be able to throw a bridal show. This was before I knew how to construct my grants and my funding requests. For me, I wanted to be able to showcase the beautiful Black brides and Black vendors here in the city. The person in front of me said, hey, this is wonderful, but I want you to know that this is so much more than what you're asking me for. You're asking me for this, and if you practice this the right way, they will literally throw money at you. And so when you're doing a grant, you have to think about positioning the organization that you're applying to, what you're asking for, what you do, and the way that you can craft what you want the money for to align with what that organization does. And so instead of just thinking about yourself, thinking about, okay, I'm doing an event, but how do we make sure that it's not just self-serving, but it also benefits you and what you care about. And then it gives you better chances for the grant to be able to, pass through the application process.
Awesome. Okay, I know we have a couple more questions, and I'm going to actually ask them to step down over here to the side, because we have to wrap it up, because we gotta get out of here, because you know they want us to get up out of here. Wait a minute. I'm like, I gotta pack up, don't pack up on me, not Viola Davis. Did you all? Oh, wow. So, I apologize. So, I have a consulting session that I'm giving away. If you guys will text the word confetti to 513 951 6610. And then how are they gonna find out who won?
What was it,
513 951 6610. You gotta fill it out, and then it'll just prove it.
Okay, when's the date?
Okay, so y'all wanna know tonight,
Who won?
okay? Please give it up for our lovely panel.
Thank you guys so much for your participation and for the great answers to the questions. Really appreciate it. I'm gonna ask the three of you to have.
See, y'all be trying to do my job. No,
If you guys can go over there to the council, they are going to answer some questions.
did anybody have any food? Did y'all have any food? I told y'all to sit down and not, you have one person, and y'all gonna show her food bag. Y'all say y'all like food? Y'all like food? Y'all really like the food? Okay, so who has heard of Soul in the Kitchen? Yes, this food
Sitting at
is
in the chair right there to
amazing.
record her, and then we done.
Please
Lady
give
just
it up. Selena, come on up here, baby. I done had Selena's food at several events, but people do not know it is so much more than food that Selena does. So I would like Selena to take a second to come up here and talk a little bit about that, as well as give out her raffle giveaway, and then we will let you all go home. Thank you guys so much. You guys are great tonight. 1 second.
Hey guys. Hey. How y'all doing? I know it's the end of the night, so I'm gonna make this kind of concise. So if you've not met me already, my name is Selena Bill-Martin, from May, also known as Chef Soleil. So I'm the founder of Soleil Kitchen. We're a food and hospitality company. We're going on 7 years in business. So we specialize in corporate baking, do a lot of B2B. So we work with companies like P&G, Fifth Third Bank, Artsway, just to name a few. We also work with NFL players. So I'm really happy to be able to connect with you all today, because one thing I always like to tell people is we always need these events in these spaces, because too many times we're always trying to connect. We want to work with the influencers. Sometimes we want to work with the celebrities. We're always looking at the level we're looking to get to, instead of connecting across with the people that are in this room. The people that are sitting beside you right now are the people that are going to invest in your business, they're going to support your business, and you're going to be able to support theirs, right? One of the ways I've built my company over the last 7 years has been through the support of being able to work with women like Monica, or be able to see different people at events that we've done over the years. Again, similar to this. I love being able to see the community that Cincinnati is building. So shout out to Ashley, Amber, and Mama for being able to put this together. This is a great experience. If you have any questions for me, I will be in the back. So a couple things that people typically do not know about me. So behind the scenes, I will say I am absolutely obsessed with business. Like this has been, like I was the kid selling like little baskets at Philly Market when I was a kid. And then it turned into a full-blown business when I turned 25. And a lot of that I attribute to my tribe. So whether that's a Simone, I'll say it's like a business investor, or Renita and Ashley. Again, these are people I've built relationships with that have supported me, and in turn I've been able to support them in their business endeavors. So if you have any questions for me, we're also doing a giveaway. So one thing I don't speak too much about is I work as a business consultant. So before starting my business, I worked as a business and project analyst. So we handled different segments, dealing with VPs, and being able to scale projects at different vendor sites. So one thing I also do is I work with a lot of like startups, kind of like early stage startups the first few years in business. We also work with like Border Aviation Accelerators and the Ohio Council on Aging. So if you have any questions about business, please reach out to me. Just know my toxic trait is DMs, taking about 2 to 3 days to see. So don't get discouraged. When I see the message, I'm gonna respond back. But my notifications are permanently turned off, so just give me grace. But it's great to be able to see you all. Hopefully you enjoy the food and have a good night.
Okay. I'm gonna release y'all. I got 3 people whose names I'm gonna announce because there are 3 last winners. And before I do that, I'm gonna ask y'all to pull out y'all phones and follow me and ask Ashley with 2 E's. Know why? Because that's what you're supposed to do when you finish. You plug yourself.